Hey guys, Zeldapro 064 here, and I'm with
Supreme King Zach.
And
also, that's such a stupid introduction.
What
I've complained about this introduction so many times.
Why don't you like my introduction?
It's just a stupid little pause in between it, and it's just, it sounds
Well, then maybe
dumb.
you should say it faster.
Anyways,
hang on, no.
You're
You
the
think
slow
it's
one
dumb?
here.
Yeah,
I have to admit, you're the slow one.
yeah, so
No,
maybe I should
because
say,
I never know.
hey guys, Zeldapro 064 here, and I'm with Supreme
and he
King
points at
Zach.
you.
Like, you
guys
just
can't see
say it
here, but we're
immediately.
pointing at him.
Immediately after, I'm here with Supreme King Zach.
And
Why can't
awesome NES.
You can just say it.
Okay, I'm
And boy, do we have a
Zeldapro 064.
story to tell you.
Okay.
Have
Anyway.
I got a giraffe for you?
Oh boy, no one's gonna get
Guys,
that reference.
Timothy was almost
make
in
that
Venom
podcast
2.
someday, too.
I'm sure that'd be a
I
very
bet you would
fun-
like to know that story.
Hey, Timothy, why
What?
don't you tell us what today's podcast is about?
Today, I'm going to be talking about how I was almost a guest star in the new and upcoming Venom 2.
I feel like guest star is a little much. I feel like you saying I was almost an extra in Venom 2 is probably
Extra.
better.
Okay, hold up. Let me give this more accurate title. This is the story of how Rodney Heffenhofer was almost an extra in Venom 2.
That's better. Okay.
Okay, so
now
let's,
that we've got your attention.
let's start the story, shall we?
ahead,
I
Tim.
wish I still had the text messages. But anyway, so I'm in Georgia for the summer, right? And I just get this random text message in the middle of the day. And it says that they tell me that it's this dude from an acting recruiting agency that is in Atlanta, and said that they had seen Purple Coin, and they were particularly interested in my character being portrayed as Rodney. And so at first,
Well, hold on. They were interested in the character.
they were
Rodney.
interested in the
Yeah.
Rodney character.
Rodney,
Like, that's
yeah.
what sparked their interest in me, is what they said. And so I was like, at first I was like, hold up. Who looks at Rodney Heffenhofer and is like, that's an actor that we need right there. So automatically my brain's like, I don't know how legit this is. So I'm like, I'm going to call my mom and see what she thinks. She didn't respond, so I called Zach.
Yep.
What were you doing at that time?
I love how Zach is the closest thing to your mom.
we have a special bond.
It's not like that.
I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Okay.
But so I was actually just chilling in my room. I was either watching YouTube or playing a video game, and then Timothy calls me, and it's like, Zach, this agency wants to recruit me for a movie.
I want to interject real quick, too. I don't know if we preface this, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Atlanta, Georgia is actually...
We were gonna get to it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
projected
hot
to
spot
be the
for
next,
movies.
Projected to be the next Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There are a lot of
Yeah,
really
and there's a ton
big...
of, like, studios,
Now,
recording agencies,
did you
all
know
kinds
what
of stuff down
movie?
there.
At this point? Or
No, I did not.
Okay, so yeah. He just
So
calls me
what
and
they
it's
said,
like,
they just said that they wanted me to audition as an extra for an up-and-coming film by Amy Pascal, who, I researched all this stuff because they named the recruiting agency,
Yep.
they gave the recruiter's name, and they had the director and stuff. So I was like, if this is legit, I'm going to look this up because it could just be some kind of scam or whatever.
oh yeah, and
I looked it all up. It was legit.
yeah.
The acting agency was real. Amy Pascal has directed movies in Atlanta. The last one that she had done was Venom
Yep.
in Atlanta,
Nom, nom, nom.
which
So-
drove my mind to, oh my gosh, are they
Venom
wanting
2.
me as an extra for Venom 2?
Yeah. So,
And then the recruiting guy,
Yeah.
that name,
yeah, that was real.
I
right?
looked that up, and he didn't work specifically for that agency, but there was a dude in Atlanta with that name
Yeah.
that was a recruited for actors, which I'll tell you why that's funny at the end of the story. But so continuing with the story, I told Zach,
Yeah, he called me.
yeah.
He's like, Zach, I don't know if this is real or not, but I'm kind of freaking out. And I'm like, there's no way this is real. Because first of all, how would they
Rodney.
find Purple Coin?
Yeah.
Second of all, how would they think Rodney? So of course I'm like, okay, this isn't real. But then he kind of goes into it more and finds out the stuff for it. And I'm like, huh, this is sounding kind of
maybe
legit.
you should text
And I
him.
was like, huh, maybe you should. Now, of course, the whole time I'm like, if this is a prank, nothing really harmful comes out of it, except for the fact that, like, oh, gotcha, your hopes are dashed.
Yeah.
like, your hopes and dreams are broken. Ha, gotcha.
And so I was very cautious because if it was
Timothy-
a prank, I didn't want to get pranked.
Timothy was very cautious.
If it was a scam, I didn't want to get
yeah,
scammed.
I was telling him, hey, go ahead with it, because if it's real, this is amazing. If it's fake, oh, you got pranked, bro. Like, it's
Right.
not that big of a deal.
And so I ended up texting the people. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can maybe get some more answers out of them or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so first off, how did you get my phone number? That's what I want to know first. And they responded back with, since we are a professional recruiting agency, when we find out your name, we can go to your college and ask for permission for some of your info for like email or phone number. And that's how we were able to contact you. They said it more professionally.
But
Like,
that's
of
the
course.
gist of what they said. That
Like-
they went through WKU, got his information, and called him.
Right, because they were an, as they said, quote unquote, approved acting agency.
Yeah.
So, or licensed.
License.
Whatever they said. But it sounded very professional. It sounded very legit.
Now, was this before you had texted me?
Yes.
No, I have not called you yet.
Yeah.
Or texted you. Yeah.
We did a lot before
Okay,
we
I
got
don't know.
you.
I don't
yeah.
know what point I joined the school.
I'll,
Yeah,
I'll
that's just
point.
it.
I'll
Look-
point at you when we get
just-
to your
Okay.
part.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So yeah, they respond back with that. I'm like, Zach, I think this is legit.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, is this an actual thing? Again, still like, go for it, because if it's real, why would you pass this up? And if it's fake, oh well.
So that's what I said. I texted them back and I was like, I am totally interested to audition. When, where, and what would I be auditioning for? And then they came back with a text that said, oh no, another actor has come up and we're considering looking at them now. So if you
Well, they didn't say, oh no. They were like, hey, just want to inform you that there's also another
yeah,
actor
they're just
we're
like,
looking
unfortunately,
into. Yeah.
like everything they said was very professional sounding. Like
Yeah.
it sounded legit. And so I was just like, oh shoot. And they're like, if you do want to audition, call us by 5:30 and do an audition over the phone. We want to hear a country accent and a Cockney British accent. And they said, tell about yourself in those accents over the phone. There'll be no one else on the other end, and that'll count as your audition the second you hang up. And so I was like, I looked at my phone. That was only 15 minutes away.
And at this point, Timothy starts freaking out.
I'm like,
he calls
Zach,
me. He's
what
like,
do I do?
Zach, what do I do? I can't do a British accent. It's just like,
And so that's when I get Logan
Yeah, I
involved.
was,
We're
gonna say,
like,
I was like, at that point, actually, you did call me, and I wasn't able to answer. I was at work.
Mhm.
And then I snuck to the back room where there's a lot of noise, and I picked up my phone real quick, and I was like, he's called me 2 or 3 times now. I think somebody's dead. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
actually worried. I was getting concerned, so I told my boss, I was like, hold on, I gotta make a phone call. And he was like, you're on the clock. I was like, I'll be right back. So I went behind a large wall with lots of sound, and I just called him back real fast. I was like, hey, what's going on? And he was like, I think a movie agency wants me for something. And I was like, nuh-uh, bull crap. And he was like, I don't know what to do. He's like, they want me to do an interview soon. They want me to call over the phone by 5:30. I look at my phone, it's like 5:12 at this point or something.
and
he's-
Timothy sent you the messages, right?
yeah,
This was before he had sent
Yeah,
them.
okay.
I hadn't
before.
talked to him yet.
Because he didn't believe
Um,
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
this
Because
point-
you were on the call too. I merged the call.
That's right. We call the merch call. Yeah.
I don't remember that part specifically. I just remember him being like, I've got like 20 or less than 20 minutes to make this phone call back. I don't know what to do. They want me to do a British accent. I can't do a British accent. He's telling me. I just remember he said something about Rodney, and I was just like, they mentioned Rodney, and he's like, yes, they said Rodney. I was like, this is real. Like, who the heck? I don't know who would be able to prank us. Who would even consider pranking
That's
us?
just it. This thing
That,
was very legit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the company name, the people name, the timing of everything was. It was.
Which we're gonna tell what actually was going on by the end of this.
Yeah.
But let's just say this was set up extremely well to the point like we were believing it. Like it
Yeah,
seemed
this-
so
this was
legit.
very legit.
And like I said, he mentioned Rodney and said that they mentioned Rodney, and I was like, I need proof. I gotta hang up. I'm at work, so I hung up, and then just
I
immediately
screenshot
after
it.
my phone blows up, and I get all these messages.
'Cause
from
Timothy
and then
had-
just screenshot images,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there reading through every single one of them, and it's just like, hello, we're from blank agency, da 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 da. Something about Amy Pascal. As soon as I saw Amy Pascal, I'm a big nerd, so as soon as I saw Amy Pascal, I was like, oh my god, this is real.
Actually, was Logan the one who mentioned Venom?
Venom, he might have been.
She directed Venom.
That's
She
it.
worked on
Yeah,
the Spider-Man
that's
movie.
right.
Did you guys know she worked on Homecoming?
No, I didn't.
No.
She worked on
Wow.
Homecoming.
But I
She worked on
looked
Venom.
up Amy
She worked on
Pascal
the
after he
Daredevil
said
Netflix
that, and that's
Yeah.
when it came to our mind. Oh my gosh, Rodney's gonna be in Venom too.
Yeah.
So I hang up on both. Well, he had to go back to work.
Yeah.
And then I hung up on you, and I'm like, I'm gonna YouTube a
Well,
Cockney
encouraged him
British
greatly.
accent.
I'm
before I
like,
left.
Timothy, you need to work on this British accent because you have the country down. It's just right.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I something I told him. I shot him a quick text before I had to really.
Okay,
get my-
you were like,
I
congrats,
was like,
dude.
that, but also,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, that, but also, well, I told him, I was like, you know what? Screw it for whatever. I was like, if you're concerned about it, just freaking do it, because I was like, you're not gonna have another opportunity like this.
That's what I was told the
Do
whole
it. I was like,
time.
if you end up having to leave YouTube or whatever it goes on because of it, it's totally worth it because this is something we've been working for. We've been trying to be actors. I'm like, we're not really trying to be actors.
But if the
we're
opportunity
If we
working-
ever
arose-
got
come up-
recognized,
I think anyone
holy
wants to
crap.
Hold on, pause.
should take
Let me shout out to all those agencies out there who may watch this video. We would love to be actors. We would love even just as extras. That would be
Yeah.
amazing. Definitely hit us up.
Y'all, we're in
We
it.
have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have a Discord. You
Just
can
please,
hit us
just
up.
please be legit.
But the thing I sent him though was like, I know you're concerned about this test interview or whatever, and he's like, that's why he thought it was fake because no one was going to answer him, and he had to talk by himself for a couple minutes on the phone. I was like, yo, I have looked into acting,
I
like,
remember that.
auditions before, and I've seen, I don't remember where I've read or seen something about it before, but I remember seeing they test you a bunch of different ways, and some of the tests are fake. Like, they ask you for them, but like they ask you for certain things, but don't expect you to actually be able to do it. So when asking him for the country part, that's the thing they were looking for because
that's
what
Rodney.
they heard Rodney.
Yeah.
But the British part doesn't really matter to them, but they want to know if you can do it, if you're skilled enough to do it, and if you are, it's like a bonus. But if you're not, they don't care.
Yeah,
They want
'cause
to
that's not what
they
they're
want to
looking
throw
for.
you
Yeah.
off actually, and like I like I said, I've read something about this before, and they try to throw their auditioners off on purpose, so they don't really know what they're doing.
And so,
and
yeah,
tried to give you
Logan
pressure,
telling me
and I
that
was like,
was
oh,
not
wow.
helping me
Yeah.
at all.
I was like,
I feel like that would help you even more, though.
Yeah, I was like,
No.
you just need to go in and do it because they don't care about your British accent.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
don't have to have a British
Yeah, but at
accent.
this point, I was
They want to
so
freak you
nervous and felt like I was about to throw up. I was just like, I would rather just know that this is a prank at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, so me and him are on the phone, and I'm like, dude, you need to practice this British accent.
So I did.
So he gets on YouTube, and he's just listening to this British guy, and he's trying it, and I'm like,
I call
Let's hear
Zach
it.
back, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Let's hear it.
I don't remember. My British accent is
And the thing,
So
it wasn't
bad.
just a British accent. It
It's
was like
Cockney
It's
British.
a Cockney British accent, which is just a
I don't
weird,
know what that
different,
means.
like, I guess, different dialect.
it's strange. But so anyway, I'm like, Zach, I don't know if I can do this, and Zach's like, you will not have another chance like this.
Yes,
again. You've
I'm
got to
telling
do
him.
Take it no matter what.
Yeah, I'm like, Timothy, even if this is not real, you need to take it, because if it is real,
What's the best? They already have your phone number. What's the worst they're gonna do? Act like they have your voice.
Yeah.
like,
So here's what I decided. I'm like, okay, well, the Davis family, which, by the way, the Davises are the family that I stayed with last summer and this summer while I was living in Georgia and helping. The Davises, Josh Davis, he's the head of the family. He's the one that actually created Proskeneo Ministries, and that's the ministry I was working with. So I was living with them. They've actually done pranks on me like this over the phone before. They did this one where it was like llama text messages, and they like sent me a picture of llamas like, this is thank you for subscribing to daily llama images. You'll be charged 99 cents a day per photo. If you want to stop the messages, please reply in all caps, stop
Yeah.
now. And
Stop now.
that was an April Fool's prank. And so my first thought was, this could be a Davis prank. So I called Elias, who's my friend, that's Josh's son. I called him, and because all the family was out visiting their cousins. So I had the house basically to myself at that time. And I called Elias, and so I was like, I'm going to pretend that I'm on to them and be like, I know that you guys are pranking me, and like hopefully they would
yeah, it'd be like, oh, wow.
reveal
you
it,
got
and then I'd be like, okay, now I know. So I'm like, Elias, I know what you guys are doing. It was very nice. You almost had me. And he's just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I have no clue. I know, like, stuff like that's kind of common in Atlanta. And I was like, well, can I speak to your father, please? And he's like, well, my dad's kind of busy right now. And I was just like, this can't be the Davises, but it totally could still be the Davises. So I kept just like, okay, whatever. I know it's you guys. Hung up the phone. Zach, I have no idea who it is. So It was like 1 or 2 minutes until it was 3:30
Yeah.
time for me to audition, and so I was like, Zach, I'm gonna text these people one more time, and I'm gonna ask them if there's any way that they can prove that.
Well, no.
No, I didn't do that. No, first I sent a text that said, yeah, because I was too nervous. And I was
Yes.
like, I cannot do a British
So-
accent.
Timothy was really hung up on that British accent thing.
Yeah.
So he texted them and was like,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I cannot do a British accent.
You're not supposed to tell him that.
And
I was
'cause-
just being honest.
Yeah, he was like, if the other guy can do what you need him to, then that's okay.
They said
with
they
me.
had someone probably
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, no.
And so I was just like, just give it to the dude.
Yeah, he was like, just give it
Sucks.
to
I
him.
would have tried
And
anyway.
he was like, thank you for looking into me
Yeah.
and giving me the
And that's when
opportunity.
they came back and said,
And then, but hold on. And he calls me and tells me this, and I'm like, Timothy, you freaking idiot! If this
Yeah.
was real, you just screwed up so much.
Mhm.
And I was mad at Timothy.
I
I'm
would've been
not
too
like
if I knew all that.
really mad, but I
Disappointed.
was
Very
disappointed.
disappointed.
I wasn't
disappointed.
mad. I was just
Could you imagine if
disappointed.
one of us took off as actors because
Yes!
of our YouTube career? Then
Yes!
any of the rest of us could take off as actors because of our YouTube
I know,
career.
and I was just like, Timothy, how could you not?
I know.
So then he gets a text, right? After you told him that?
Yeah, they sent me a text back, the number did, and it said, it's like, well, if you can still do the country accent for us by 3:30, and then maybe do the British
At a later date.
at a
or
later
something
date,
like that, yeah.
then we can still try to take you. And so I was like, okay, Zach, they're giving me one last chance, so I think I'm going to try this, but before I do, I'm going to send them a final text and be like, how can I prove that this is real and not some kind of a prank? So I sent that to him, and then the number calls me, and I'm still on the phone with Zach. I'm like, Zach, they're calling me. I guess I'm auditioning now.
Yikes.
So he's like, okay, good luck. And then I swipe,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, hello? And then I just hear a bunch of voices start singing, happy birthday to you, in the most awful voices possible. And I'm just like, it's not my birthday. What's going on? This is a wrong number. And then I was like, who are you? And they're like,
This sounds
this
like a
is the
horror movie
Davis
now."
family. And I was like, it was the Davises all along.
Yep.
And then they were all laughing and like, you didn't do it though. And I was like, yeah, I didn't do it because I was suspicious it was you freaks. And then they're like, well, did you think it was funny? I was like, it was a little more dream crushing than anything.
yeah.
And then they all felt bad, and like all of them sent me apologies. And
Yeah.
the number that had been texting me was one of their cousins.
Mm.
And so back to that director name, not the director, but the acting recruiter.
Yeah.
They just made that name up. They didn't research that. And so when I had
And it was
typed
real?
and it was real. That's
hilarious.
what made it so wild, is because they just made that name up, and there was actually a recruiting agent with that name
in
housed
Atlanta.
That's wild.
Just not at the same agency. That
Yeah.
was the only thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, this dude can go around
Yeah.
to different agencies.
Yeah.
So it was wild.
That's pretty wild. But yeah, they did a lot of research for it and made it sound very convincing.
And so that's how Rodney Heffenhofer was almost in Venom 2, but
Almost
not
in Venom
really.
2.
And I want to cover a couple of scenarios that we talked about. What if
Yeah,
Rodney
because we were
had
talking
gotten
about like
into-
if he actually gets in it, like it's just probably gonna be Rodney in Venom 2.
Yeah.
So we were just coming up with scenarios and stuff that he could be
my
in.
favorite one.
I think we should still make videos. I think it'd be pretty funny.
maybe. I couldn't animate the way I.
I mean, we'd have to go break Rodney. We'd have to go break Rodney out of the wand in the
and we all
backyard.
know we're
but
not doing that.
Yeah, if we're
not
not
for
doing
a
that,
long
forget
time
that.
or ever.
But something I hadn't seen the first Venom movie yet. I knew Amy Pascal. I watched it. I watched it last night.
Oh, you watched it last night.
Last
Okay.
night.
He was
Actually,
disappointed.
You were
I was
disappointed?
But we'll get
talk
to-
about
we'll get
off
I
the
thought it was
camera.
pretty good.
But,
Okay.
Anyway, so I hadn't actually seen the end credit scene.
No, this is the podcast. We can talk about it.
I guess, but there's not a really.
Let's do it at the end.
Okay, I hadn't seen the post-credit scene, so I
Okay.
had no idea how they were introducing Cletus Cassidy. Which,
Mhm.
if you don't know who that is, it's Carnage.
Yeah.
And I know he says it in the movie. By the way, that scene was stupid. But
There
anyway,
will be carnage.
yeah, that was stupid. Anyway, I didn't know that Cletus was actually even in that movie before I'd seen that. So what I imagined when that you said that Rodney was going to be in Venom 2, or they might want Rodney for Venom 2, I imagined that Cletus Cassidy in his help group, because I know like in some like psycho wards,
Psychiatric ward?
psychiatric wards. I couldn't think of the big word, but anyway, yeah, psychiatric
I'm
wards.
smart.
They
I
have
use
like
big words.
Yeah, they have like help groups or whatever where they sit in circles and everyone talks about their problems. "Hi, I'm Cletus Cassidy, and I've murdered 58 people. Hi, Cletus Cassidy." and then
Roddy's in there. I'm Rodney Heffenoffer. I've murdered my friends.
and after
I tried to. Didn't work.
Okay, so like I'm imagining Rodney is in the same help group as Cletus, but it's Rodney sitting there talking about his issues, and like that's what the scene is.
Mm-hmm.
And then or maybe Cletus isn't even there. You know, it's just inside of the same ward.
Yeah, it's just in
and
a
It's in
ward.
the same ward, and they're in the middle of talking, and nobody knows, but like down the hall, Venom and Carnage are fighting or whatever. So they're sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden, Carnage and Venom bust into the room that they're having to help.
Dude,
help in. They're just rolling around, and Rodney's
could've
like,
met Tom
"They're
Hardy."
devils here." He's come for me.
He's
come from my soul.
Hardy, guys. That makes me so sad.
Oh.
So yeah, that
I would have gotten Tom Hardy's signatures or autograph for you guys.
that would have been very nice.
That'd been so cool. I could get. I would have taken so many selfies with Tom Hardy, like as myself and Rodney.
Yeah. But yeah, that was how Timothy or Rodney was almost in Venom 2.
But not really.
But not really. So
that
thank
was
you
a
guys.
fun little story. Hang on.
Yeah.
I want to talk about why were you disappointed in the Venom movie?
It's not good.
It was pretty good.
Hold on, this
Not
is a
good.
completely different topic. You guys can
No,
talk
this-
about.
this
You
still
know what,
really
it's
is.
fair, and podcasts are long. So
I guess okay.
if
How
you
long
guys
has this
wanna-
one been?
Honestly, okay, that story is over.
Yes, that story
If
is
you guys
over.
want to keep listening, it will probably be a Venom review / rant, maybe whatever. It probably won't take up much longer, but that is the Venom 2 story that the title is about. Here we go. Why I didn't like Venom. It's
Yep.
gonna be pretty short. Okay, the movie for
Uh-huh.
the first like 30 minutes was boring.
Okay, I'll
it
give
was
you that.
straight up boring.
I'll give you that
And
one.
then when the parts were not like the parts that were not boring were just not that interesting, and I
disagree.
disliked the portrayal of Eddie Brock. He has never been the way he was in that movie, and I know that
guess so.
they started going the way, and like that's not necessarily straying from comic books that bother me, because that's not that the MCU has done it and they've done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Other Marvel movies or even some of the DC movies are straight from the comics, and they're still good.
Mm-hmm.
But like Eddie was just a weird guy in this movie, and like it was just weird being weirded out by Eddie, because he's always been the cool, likable guy that everybody likes, and nobody
Really?
likes Eddie. Yeah, like
I
some
only-
people don't like
see,
him because he's
my-
a jock. You're
Well,
like,
my only experience of Eddie was from Spider-Man 3.
well, yeah. I mean,
So I went into it not knowing anything about Eddie Brock except Spider-Man 3 Eddie Brock, and I hated that Eddie Brock
Oh,
because that Eddie Brock sucked.
I mean, he's always been kind of a jerk, but like this Eddie wasn't even a jerk. He was just dumb. I kind of felt like, and I was just like, oh, I don't like this. And then I watched it for a while, and it turned into like drama, relationship drama, and that was, I felt like dragged out for too long. And then we finally got to like some of the good parts with like the aliens, but like the symbiote story was kind of weird the way they ran that, and there's never been multiple symbiotes showing up at once either, like initially. And that part also was weird, but again, strength in the comics is okay, and I was willing to accept it for what it was. It was really the last half of the movie that made me realize I was disappointed in it, because I understand that movies they have to have a setup point, and the first 30 minutes of boringness, that happens in all kinds of movies. I didn't like Shazam at first. I love the Shazam movie, but the first little bit of it was mediocre.
Captain Marvel's the same way. It was kind of slow.
Yeah, I guess, but yeah, just I was kind of bored, but I was like, you know what? We'll wait till we get to the story and everything starts rolling, and maybe I'll like it. And I never really saw myself getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. And then Venom showed up, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to like this. I love what they did with Venom, like the character himself.
I liked Venom.
Venom was funny. That's not usually what Venom is like. But again, it's okay. I liked the direction they took with him, and then he was also awesome, and he like took out all those dudes in that fight scene, whatever.
Like
where he takes out all the guys in the
yeah.
bridge, whatever that word's called. Took out all those guys inside of the facility. That part was pretty cool, but like the climactic actual fight sucked, and I was so upset because that was what I was looking forward to, was symbiote on symbiote battling, just fighting with all their things, and they fight for like 8 seconds, like an actual fight for like 8 seconds. They confront each other, and I'm getting excited. There's all kinds of tension. It feels like the beginning of a Mortal Kombat fight, because they have like the angle where he's like, "Join us get on the ship," and he goes over to Venom, and he's like, I will not. And it pans over to him. He's like, then you've chosen your fate. And that's literally how Injustice fights or Mortal Kombat in the video game, like recent video game start. And I was like, it's awesome. They went like a 2D fighter, and I was like, it's Mortal Kombat, and that was so cool. So they're hitting each other for a second, and he like grabs him with the spike or whatever, and he makes like that spike ball fist. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I've never seen another symbiote be able to do something like that. He swings it around, hits Venom up into the air, and chases after him, and they both get hit by the sound wave, and the symbiotes rip apart. And I was just like, wait, what? And then because that girl, the woman, I don't even remember her name anymore, turns on the sound thing, and of course, like, sound is the way to beat symbiotes. We've always known that.
Yeah.
But it just happened so quickly that the symbiotes don't even really get a chance to fight, like to actually fight. And then it gets to like Eddie and the scientist dude just punching at each other and rolling around a little bit. And he shoves the dude over the bridge. And he falls over. And I was
Spoilers for Venom, by the way.
Yeah, I guess. But he falls over, and I was just like, really? That's it? And then Brock gets impaled because it turns out the guy got his symbiote back fast enough and jumps back up. And I was like, okay. And then like he gets off in the rocket ship, and just, I don't know. Like I was really looking forward to the fight, and that was probably the biggest disappointment to me. But the rest of the movie was just boring, and Venom was the only good part. Like Venom himself, to me, was like the only good part.
I think Venom was the best part, but I personally was not very disappointed by the movie. Just, I don't know. I just liked it. I see all your points, though, is the thing. Because, like, you're giving all those points, I'm like, okay, yeah, I totally understand that. So I can see why people would hate on the movie or not like a lot of it. But for whatever reason, I personally enjoyed it, and I thought it was a good movie.
I would give it a 6 out of 10.
I don't really have any good reasons to back it up, though.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I just enjoyed it.
And then I watched the post-credit scenes, and I was like, this is stupid. Oh my gosh, this is dumb. Because he sits there, there will be carnage.
Yeah.
And I was like, you what? And,
that made me freak out, though, because that told me, Carnage is coming!
I know, that's what I was excited about, because I've heard that there is a post-credit scene with something to do with Carnage or Cletus or something. And I was like, yay! And the actor they got for Cletus, I guess, kind of actually matches. I've been reading a lot of Carnage comics recently. And, you know, the actor they got for Cletus matches pretty closely to the comic book.
He was Haymitch in the Hunger Games.
Oh, really?
That made me happy, too, because, like, I love this actor.
And he's, I don't know, but the way he talks and, like, the way he acts, it's just weird. And then then it just suddenly ends, and I was like, oh, that was kind of dumb. And also, I don't know if he knows about Carnage already. That's also something that's been bothering me. I don't know if he knows about Carnage, or if you even know what the origin of Carnage is. Carnage is Venom. Like, that's the best way to put it, because a piece of Venom tears off while Eddie and Cletus are together. And, like, in the original origin story, tears off and then joins with one of Cletus's blood cells, because he cuts himself on a barbed wire. Joins with one of Cletus's blood cells and becomes a brand new symbiote. And covers his body in blood, so Carnage is made out of blood.
See, I didn't know any of that. I just thought Carnage was cool.
Yeah, but he's made out of blood, and that's where all the red color comes from.
You can see where
I just think he's neat.
Yeah.
You just know that just shows how much knowledge of Marvel I have outside of the MCU.
Yeah, but so he's like covered in blood. But the thing is he's Venom, but also Cletus's blood. That's what Carnage is.
That's why.
And that's why. But I'm wondering, how did he? Like, does he know who Carnage is already? Is he already joined with Carnage? And if so, where did this version of Carnage come from? Because we only know
to be explained in Venom 2.
Yeah, I know.
That I will not be in.
We know of 3 symbiotes. One of them's Venom. One of them's dead. And the other is also dead because it joined with that bunny, and the bunny died, and it killed the symbiote with it. And then the other symbiote was the one that was attached to the dude who burned up on the ship.
Yeah.
And there's Venom. And so that's like, where did he get this thing if he even has it, or is he just saying that because he's ready to kill more people because he's psycho?
I'm sure they'll explain it.
Yeah.
And Venom 2.
But that's the thing. I do think that they've got a good chance of making Venom 2 better than the first Venom movie because of the fighting. Carnage is known to come back and fight over and over and over again. He loves to fight and kill things. So I'm hoping that means that Venom and Carnage are going to fight a lot in the next movie.
That's how the Amazing Spider-Man movies were. It was like the first one was kind of but then the second one was really good.
So I hope that Venom 1 was just a big setup for Venom 2.
I hope so. I'm excited for it.
All right, and that's going to wrap up this podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. That was a very long rant.
It was 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're so
Not
concerned
even that long.
about
It was
the
not even 8
time,
minutes.
Zach, because most podcasts last for like an hour and a half.
And our
know,
most recent
but-
one was 35 and a half minutes, so this
Oh,
isn't even that
for
long.
some reason, I was thinking the ferret.
Dude, that was 49 minutes.
Yeah.
But that was because our actual podcast was only like 20.
Gosh, that's short.
I know.
Yeah.
And you're complaining about this.
I know, but it's just.
And
I
now
guess
you're
it
just
is
dragging it
topical.
on.
You're right. All right, bye guys.
We'll see you guys in the next video.
Goodbye.
Almost.